Hey everybody, this is my second time doing this video, but the first one, the sound didn't record, so we're doing this over again. This lesson and assignment is going to be blended together, and we are going to work on parallel and perpendicular lines today. We're going to be writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. So let's add that to the title. Writing equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. I put a little squiggle down the middle, and I'm going to put a little info here about both parallel and perpendicular lines, so hopefully that can help us out. What do parallel lines look like? Well, they look like two lines that are equidistant apart the whole entire time. They never intersect. They're always the same distance apart. Here, perpendicular lines, they do intersect. However, they must intersect at a right angle, also known as a 90-degree angle. So they make a perfect plus sign. However, that plus sign could be tilted. Same with parallel lines. They could both be perfectly vertical. They could both be perfectly horizontal. They're still parallel. And here, these could be slanted a certain way, or they could be one vertical and one horizontal, kind of like the X and Y axis. What else do we need to know? Well, we should know some things about their slope, right? Really important if we're going to be writing equations of lines. So parallel lines have the same slope as each other. That's really the main takeaway. Whatever slope the one line has, the other one has as well. Don't forget that if x equals a number, that means the slope is undefined. So the other line would also be x equals a number. And if y equals a number is the line you're given and you're trying to find an equation of a line parallel to that, that slope was 0. It was a horizontal line. And horizontal lines are all parallel to each other, and they all have a slope of 0. Here, what can we say about the slope? Well, the slopes here are what we call an opposite reciprocal. Opposite has to do with the positive and negative signs, and reciprocal, I want you to think of the word refliprical. So you're going to be flipping things over when you're dealing with a reciprocal, okay? Just want to make sure. Okay, good. So we'll get more into what that means, but remember, opposite means negative to positive or positive to negative, and reciprocal or fliprical. You're going to flip over your fraction. And seems like pretty good stuff right there. Opposite reciprocal. Well, if you have 0, the opposite reciprocal is going to be undefined. Oops, that right there. And if you have undefined, then the opposite reciprocal of that is going to be 0. Main takeaway, if you have to find the equation of a line that's perpendicular to a horizontal line, make it a vertical line. But it has to go through the x value when it's vertical. That's what you care about. And when it's a parallel line, it needs to go through the y value. Very important. Rewind to this part if you get stuck on something, okay? So you're going to copy this down, and then for this worksheet, we're going to go through and kind of deal with two objectives and two sub-objectives. Our two main objectives are to be able to write an equation in point slope form that is as described. The two subcategories are parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Then on the next page, we're going to see that we're going to use slope-intercept form. And when we do slope-intercept form, we will go again and do the same thing, parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Point slope form, that's in the directions, these bold directions which apply to the rest of that page. We should probably write down what that is, you know. So a purple box. Point slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times the quantity of x minus x sub 1, close parenthesis. Sorry, I kind of went outside my box a little bit, thinking outside the box. So let's get moving on this. Through this point and parallel to this line. Only need to do a few things. This is going to be super simple. It's going to be your favorite thing ever. The point you're given gives you your x sub 1, and it also gives you your y sub 1. Done and done. If it's parallel to this line, and in this line, parallel, there's my little symbol for parallel, actually. I kind of forgot to write those down in here, didn't I? Yeah, that's the symbol for parallel. Parallel slope will be the same. So it's -4/5. So I'm going to use that slope. There's my x sub 1 and my y sub 1, and let's get started. So we're going to do y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. I'm going to fill some goodies in. Y minus 0 equals -4/5 times the quantity of x minus -5, but we're going to make that plus 5. And that's it. Finished. You're done. So I just did number 1 with you. What I'd like you to do is press pause right now, and you're going to do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5 by yourself. But if you could write down how many minutes it took you to do numbers 2, 3, 4, and 5, that would really help me out, because then I can kind of plan a little bit better based on how long it's going to take you guys to do all of these examples. All right? So unpause the video when you're ready to do number 6 together. If you're watching now, that means you're ready to do number 6. This is the exact same thing as the last example, except instead of it being parallel, it's perpendicular. So let's see what that looks like here. We have our x sub 1 and our y sub 1 again. Coincidentally, we have a 0, no big deal. Perpendicular, here's my symbol for perpendicular. And my perpendicular slope, well, what's that going to look like? My -6/5 is going to change into, you're going to flip it, 5/6, and make it positive since it's negative. So here is going to be my new slope. There's my point, x1, y1. There's my slope. We're using point slope form according to directions. We don't have to do anything else. That's it. Y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Fill them in. Y minus 0 equals 5/6. Make sure you take care of that slope. X minus 2. And again, dunzeroni, and that's all there is to it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I hope you took the time to listen as you wrote, think about each step, and what you're going to do now. If you could also time yourself again and add it to the comment section below, that'd be awesome. But you're going to do numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10. So press pause and don't press play again until you're ready to do number 11 with me, and we'll inventory the time for those examples as well. If you're watching this part, that means that you unpause the video and you're ready to move on. This second portion of the assignment, we are asked to use slope-intercept form. What is slope-intercept form? That's y equals mx plus b. We're not going to jump right to this like magicians. We are going to use point-slope form, and we're going to convert it into slope-intercept form. We're given an ordered pair again, x1, y1. Parallel, same slope, so parallel slope, it's going to be 1/7, okay? Fill them all in. We're going to start y minus y1 is equal m times x minus x1. Y minus -1 becomes +1 is equal to m 1/7 times the quantity of x minus -5 is +5. Phase 1 is done. I'm going to use an arrow, not an equal sign. I'm going to distribute. Y plus 1, I'm trying to make it look like slope-intercept form. 1/7 times x is 1/7x plus 1/7 times 5 is the same as times 5/1. 1/7 times 5/1 is going to just be 5/7. No big deal. 5/7. I need to subtract 1 from both sides. Take away a 1 here and it cancels. Take away a 1 here. To take away a 1 from this, I need, it's +5/7, a common denominator. I'm going to multiply this bad boy on top by 7 and on bottom by 7. So it just becomes 7 over 7. Positive 5 take away 7. You have more getting taken away than what you have. So you're just going to get negative 2 over 7. So that will be what this turns into. Final answer, y equals 1 over 7 x minus 2 over 7. And that's all there is to it. That is the absolute worst case scenario where you have to deal with fractions and common denominators. And you are finished. All right, so you're going to press pause now and try to do numbers 12, 13, 14, and 15. And then unpause when you're ready to do 16. All right, and if you are watching the video again now, that means that you are ready to go over number 16. Number 16, we're still using slope-intercept form. We want our answer to look like y equals mx plus b, and we want to go through this point, x1, y1, perpendicular to this slope. So my slope of this line was equal to negative 3 over 5. And I want to change that to the perpendicular slope, and that will be positive 5 over 3. So I'm going to use the slope of 5 over 3 as my new slope. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And I got my point, and we're going to get moving. We're going to start at point slope form. Y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity of x minus x1. We're going to fill in our points. Y minus negative 2, which I should have just written y plus 2. All good. Equals m, which is positive 5 over 3. That's my rise over run. X minus negative 3 plus 3, right? Like that. I'm going to distribute in the next step because the directions want slope intercept form, not point slope. I'll fix this to y plus 2, and I'm going to distribute 5 over 3 times x is 5 over 3x plus, I'm going to reduce this 3, which is 3 over 1, with this 3, and I'm going to be left with 5. So that gives me 5 over 1 or 5. And then last thing to get it looking like y equals mx plus b is I'm just going to subtract 2 from both sides, and I am dunzeroni. So 5 take away 2 is equal to 3. Pay attention to the signs. And my answer, I'll circle this over here, is going to be y equals 5 over 3 x plus 3. And that is it, my friends. So you are going to finish copying down this example. You are going to press pause and try the last 4 on your own. And when you're done with those last 4 examples, you will check in the comment section under the video and tell me how long it took you to do 17 through 20. And that would be awesome. Don't forget, for things like number 17, you want to go back and rewind in the video or look at your notes and think back to what we chatted about over here, that conversation. So you might want to look for that, okay? Very, very important conversation that we had over there. You might also want to remember, just to throw in a little note, but you might want to remember that y equals a number is a horizontal line. X equals a number is a vertical line. The slope of a horizontal line is 0, and the slope of a vertical line is undefined. And don't forget, a horizontal line, that one right there, and a vertical line are perpendicular. Ooh, so much for that. I was writing down there. I'm sorry. Y equals a number is a horizontal line. The slope of it is 0. X equals 0 is a vertical line. The slope of it is undefined. A horizontal line looks like this, and a vertical line looks like that. When you draw a line, you should stick arrows at the end. So if I'm giving you a line of y equals a number, the slope is 0. If you want something perpendicular, it's going to be a vertical line. If you want something parallel, it's going to be the same kind of line. So if you got your whole worksheet done, thumbs up on the video that you are finished with the whole entire worksheet. If you didn't finish it, if you're confused, I don't know, SOS, you put a thumbs down, okay? So good luck with the last 4 examples, and I'm sure you're going to kick butt. You're going to do great. Have a great day.